So for today's video, we are going to be doing the third recipe in my Bake With Me series out of this Christmas Gooseberry Patch Christmas book. We're going to be making this cake right here, the orange slice cake. This recipe will be written in the description box below. So let's go ahead and get started. So the ingredients you're going to need for this recipe are flour, sugar, salt, baking soda, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 5 eggs, an 8-ounce package of chopped dates, 2 cups of chopped pecans. So there's exactly 2 cups in here, and there's exactly 8 ounces in here. You need a 1 pound bag of these orange slice candies. The bag was only 10 ounces, so I weighed out 16 ounces. This is what's left. A cup of butter, softened, and 4 ounces of coconut, which I have weighed out as well. So let's go ahead and get started with this delicious cake. So first thing you want to do is beat together the butter and the sugar. And to that you add 2 cups of sugar. I'm going to be using a 1/2 cup scoop, so I'll put 4 scoops in there to equal 2 cups. And like I said, none of the recipes that I'm making out of this book are Trim Healthy Mama friendly in any way, and I'm making the recipes exactly how they are written in the book, and I'm not trying to make them healthy in any way either. So then you just go ahead and you cream these two together till they're nice and combined. So after you have the butter and sugar creamed together, you add the eggs one at a time, beating well after each addition. And then to this mixture, you're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And mix that in slowly. So then you're going to push this aside for a minute, get out another bowl, and in this bowl you are going to mix the dry ingredients, the flour, the salt, and the baking soda. So you're going to need 3 1/4 cups of flour. We have 1 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And you just whisk that together. You're also going to need 3/4 of a cup of buttermilk. I do not have buttermilk. I don't even have regular milk, but it also works with nut milk. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3/4 of a cup, just a little bit shy of 3/4 of a cup of almond milk in here. And then you just add an acid, whether it's lemon juice or vinegar or whatever kind of an acidic thing that you have. I'm going to go ahead and just add it the rest of the way up to the 3/4 of a cup mark. And you just let that sit. And then if it was cow's milk, it would like curdle instantly, but it actually does curdle nut milk to a certain degree as well. But the thing is, the reason why you need buttermilk is buttermilk has a higher acid content than regular milk. So as long as you're adding some acid to it, it will work the same in any recipe. So then what you're going to do is you're going to add the dry ingredients to the creamed butter mixture, alternating with the buttermilk. So you do part of the, partially of the dry, like half the flour mixture, half the milk, half the flour, half the milk, and let it cream together. So then what you're going to do is you're going to chop up these orange slices into little bite-sized pieces. So then to a bowl, I'm just going to reuse the bowl I had the dry ingredients in. You're going to go ahead and put those chopped up candy pieces, the 8 ounces of dates, and I went ahead and bought these already chopped. I do have whole dates, but chopping that candy was a big enough chore, so I bought the dates already chopped up. And then the 2 cups of chopped pecans. And the 4 ounces of coconut, flaked coconut. And then to this, you're going to add 3/4 of a cup of flour, and you're going to toss those together. I'm just going to use a 1/4 cup, the 1/4 cup measure I used earlier, 3 times. The flour will coat all these sticky elements and make it so they don't like sink to the bottom of the cake. So when you are coating all of these things, I found it easier, as you saw, to use my hands. And what you want to do is try to break up those clumps of candy, because they really did stick together. Those things are very, very sticky. So once you get that done, then you're going to fold it into the cake batter. So I went ahead and took it off of my mixer, and I'm going to just get a quick stir, because sometimes with the KitchenAid mixer there's a little kind of like divot in the bottom of the bowl, and sometimes ingredients get down in there and they don't get mixed in well, and you don't find it till you're pouring it into the cake pan, which is kind of a pain. Okay, so I got that, and so I'm going to go ahead and stir this into this cake batter, and it might be a bit of a job. This is a lot. I don't know that this is going to fit in my cake pan that I have. I may have to put some of it in like a loaf pan. It says that you're supposed to use a 10-inch tube pan. The only tube pan I have is an angel food cake pan. And I don't know, with all the butter that's in this recipe, it might leak out of the bottom part of the angel food cake pan. because angel food cake has no grease in it, so that's why it doesn't cause a problem. And the only other tube pan I have is a bundt cake pan, which is what I'm going to use, but this might be might be too much. We'll see. We will see. We'll make it do. We'll make it work. And I wish you could smell this cake. You know what? I'm going to have to go ahead and put this back on the mixer and run the blade, run the beater through it, because this is just a lot of dough. Batter, I guess you call it, for a cake. So this is the bundt pan that I have. This is the only tube pan I have. So the only thing I'm a little bit worried about is the little design, like the divots in it. But I greased it with some shortening, vegetable shortening, and floured it really good. And so I'm hoping that we don't have the same problem that we had with the Gift of the Magi bread. If you haven't seen that video, you need to check it out. It's in my Baking for Christmas playlist. So I'm hoping it'll come out. And now the next challenge is to see if all this batter will fit in this pan. Well, I was able to fit it all in here. There's not a whole lot of baking leavening in this, baking soda. There's quite a bit of eggs. It's kind of like a pound cake, and I don't think pound cakes tend to rise that much. So I'm hoping, even though this pan is a bit on the full side, that it won't overflow when it bakes. But I do have a cookie sheet under it just in case. So this has to go into a 300-degree oven, which is kind of a moderate temperature. It's not high. It's not your normal 350 that you bake things on, but you bake it for 2.5 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven, and I'll check it every so often, probably every 45 minutes or so, every hour maybe, because I know the first hour is not even going to be close to being done. And when it is ready to come out of the oven, I will bring you back for the next step, and cross your fingers that it doesn't overflow and that it all cooks properly. So while the cake is in the oven, we're going to put together the sauce that you pour on top of it. And the sauce consists of powdered sugar, orange juice, and lemon juice. You whisk those ingredients together over a medium flame. You bring it to a boil, and you just let it boil long enough for all of the sugar to dissolve and for it to all come together. Then you just take it off the heat and let it cool down to kind of room temperature. So as you can see, it has come out of the oven. It was exactly 2.5 hours, and I tested it and it tested done. It's been sitting on this cooling rack for 10 minutes. Now I have to invert it onto my serving plate and drizzle it with that sauce that I made. And now this is the moment of truth, and you can see it raised, but it didn't boil over. So this cake tin, or whatever you call it, pan, works for that. Now it's just a moment of truth as to whether it will come out in one piece or not. Oh, this is what makes me nervous. I did grease it. Oh man, this is heavy, heavy cake. Oh my word. Oh boy. I may have to go off camera to get this thing tipped because it is still hot.
You need that other heat.
I do. Hold on. Different. Okay. come off. Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna have to run a knife around it, I'm thinking. It might be that I think it's just caught on the rim. I'm gonna run a knife around it. I'll bring you back when I get that part done. All right, try it again. I loosened it with the knife around the edge. Okay. Now please come off, please come off. Oh, it's loosening, loosening, loosening. Yay! Hallelujah! It came off. It had that one little sticky piece of candy that might have been what was clogging it up. We'll do that. Oh, how pretty is that? All right, now it said to pour the sauce over the top. I think I'm gonna get a spoon. I got a ladle. Ooh. Oh, wow. So this is going to take another good couple hours to completely cool. And when it is completely cooled, of course, I will cut it for you guys. We will do a taste test. The sauce is soaking right in, probably because it's still really hot. I might, it doesn't say to do it in the recipe, but I might just, once it's completely cool, put a little bit of powdered sugar on the top, just to make it look pretty. All right, there we go. We'll be back in a couple more hours. So here it is. It's been about 3 hours. It's completely cool now. And I did, as you see, put a dusting of powdered sugar on top. I just think that made it look really pretty, especially for the pictures that I took of it. That will be the thumbnail. And I washed this with hot soapy water, don't worry. And that's obviously just an embellishment as well. If you wanted to take this to a party and make a presentation, that would be really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this cake and we'll give it a taste test. I can hardly wait. Look how pretty that cake is. Those little bits of the orange candy, they just look so pretty. And you can see the dates and the nuts. I can hardly wait to taste this. Olivia said it would be good with Cool Whip on top. That is absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. Oh my goodness. Wow. Honestly, I was a little bit hesitant about this cake. I wasn't sure what it was going to be like, but oh, it is absolutely delicious. It was a little bit extra work, so you'd want to maybe do this for a really special occasion. Christmas is a perfect time. Anytime you're having company, if you want to serve them something a little bit different. Oh, it's just really, really, really good. I love it. Like I said, I will have the full recipe in the description box below, and I would highly recommend that you give this recipe a try. You will not be disappointed. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below, and let me know if you have plans to try this cake. And if you do, let me know what you think of it. Thanks so much for watching, friends, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.